Hello everyone. For this video I wanted to show you a few interesting positions and mistakes from my latest ChessDojo game. This was 45-minute game plus 30 seconds increment, so more quality game than usual. If you don't know about ChessDojo, it's an online community that is basically helping players improve their chess. You can also join if you want. We are currently playing round 4. The game is from round 3. And ChessDojo encourages long-time controls, as this game was played. You can see the controls here. And we decided to play this game at 45 minutes. I'll put the link in the description so you can join if you want and learn more about it. Also, I'll just focus on a few interesting concepts and positions in this game, and I have a full Lichess study well analyzed for this game, so you can check that. I actually tried to be thorough and do my best, so basically I analyzed this game 3 times. First I analyzed it on my own. Of course I played it a lot. I spent like 50 minutes playing it, I think, 45. And then I called my friend to help me analyze some critical positions, and then I analyzed it with Stockfish. Okay, let's go to the game. This game started with English opening, and here, this was the point interesting to me. I really didn't know much about English opening. What usually happens is that basically d4 comes and we somehow transpose into some kind of Queen's Gambit opening. But usually in English openings, White wants to play on light squares and plays this way basically. Okay, and Black has many different options, like you see in here. Anything, you can play pretty much anything, but you have to decide for subsystem and go for it. I decided to play for e5, and basically I'm fighting for the center and dark squares. This is the most typical continuation. I cover the center, he plays e5, double clamping on the center. There are many options here. These are playable moves, but this is one of the best moves. Clamping down on the center again. And my opponent plays h3, which is not really developing move, but I just marked it as slightly dubious. It's inaccuracy, but it's nothing major. It helps him stop this attack. So I develop, he develops, preparing these bushes. I castle, develops, and here I play a5. Now I want to explain, this is the first interesting moment. So basically in this position, I was choosing what to play, and natural move is just to develop bishop, but I decided that, let's say, I guess, win some space here. Okay, why not? I've seen this move many times in GM games. Winning space is good. So I went with that. He blocked b4 square, which actually I didn't intend to go to, but it's a useful move as well. Then I develop. He defends the pawn. This is a great move because it frees up c6 and knight is very active. It's attacking. Okay, castle, and I finished my developing. I thought this was a good move, and I'm double attacking the pawn, so he defends the pawn. And I'll remove the arrows. Okay, now, this all might look fine and great to you, but actually, as I didn't realize in the game, Black is already in trouble. So, what's the catch here? White here plays, after I play c6, White here forced these exchanges. Now I have to retreat the bishop. I decided to retreat it on this square, so this guy here would be protected on a5. and black pushes f5. He's starting his attack. And here's the moment when I realized I was in trouble. When you play the game and play the opening, you cannot play it like me. What you need to do is you need to know the purpose of your move. So I played all these nice developing moves, like I won some space, I moved my queen from the back ranks so I can connect my rook, and that all looks fine, but basically queen move was quite a big mistake, because 2 moves later, as you can see, he plays f4, and now if I take, it's just terrible. This is simply bad, basically, for black. So I have to play another move, but f5 is coming, and my bishop is trapped. So I have to move the queen away, and then he pushes f6, and now this is obviously a terrible position. The reason why, for example, I like the queen on d5 is because I could maybe plan to break open the center, but now the queen doesn't support the square, and obviously these 2 moves are coming, and I don't know, this is basically strategically lost. Now, what went wrong here? I was when I was analyzing the game, I was still lost. Basically, I didn't really understand how this opening went so wrong. How did I end up with such a bad position? And my friend Dino Markovic, shout out to him, thank you for help, helped me. He's playing FIDE tournaments and has FIDE rating. He's much better player than me. I think he's about 2000. He basically explained me here that already at this point, I should be aware that white is going to castle and push f4 followed by f5, and white will attack on the king side. That's his side of the play. Now, it's a common knowledge, but now if I would ask you, and if I would ask myself, what should I do in this position? What's the black's plan? And now, if I took a minute and tried to understand it, it's quite obvious that since white is attacking on king side, I have to counter-attack in the middle or on the queen side. And it takes a second to see that middle is really well fortified, center is fortified, so I have to attack on the queen side. And for that reason, c6 is a good move, and which I played, go to it, and preparing d4, but since d5, but since this is such heavily defended square, basically b5 push is here what black needs to do, and it will black will have a decent game, and of course games goes on. I didn't know this, so I ended up with it in a terrible position. This is not the only way to play. There was another moment, for example, here I mentioned a5. This move is not bad, but it's played without a purpose. Basically, it's a single move that wins space. But for example, engine suggests here a6 has much better move, and it looks silly. Why would I play this? I mean, I'm really not afraid of this move. But the idea is that black wants to play b5, and now we are opening here, opening lines, opening diagonals. And for example, if white decides to grab the pawn, already this position is crashing. Not really not crashing, but it's quite a big advantage for black, because now we have black has a huge activity here, and will probably maybe go this way. And with so many open lines, white needs to attack on this side, and the king will be really exposed from the flank. So that's the main thing that I learned from this game, and I'll show you what my opponent should have learned. Let me reiterate again about opening and development. You need to develop your pieces, that pretty much everyone knows. And note that developing your pieces is not just moving them from back rank. Also, this is not really a great move, but okay. but the pieces need to be placed on active squares. Activity is the name of the game here. So I pretty much tried to do that, and that's why I moved all my pieces, including queen, which is a bit silly move, but okay, it's moved from the backhand. But right here never developed these two pieces in the game. Bishop is actually quite useful piece already, but the rook was never developed. I don't want the video to go too long, so I'll show you how the attack went, and I want to speak a bit about calculation and time management, because that's the reason that I think I won and White lost his basically already won position. So we went this way. He pushes g4 properly. Now I basically have no good defense here. The best defense is h6, but I was afraid to do it to open my king. But Stockfish, of course, knows his stuff. I moved away, trying to defend. Okay. Now this is a good move. And here I marked with arrows what should I have done. White started well, so he's bringing more pieces into the attack. And he should slowly continue and bring all the other pieces into attack and develop. The position is closed, center is closed, I cannot break here. Also note that I unfortunately placed my bishop here, so I don't have b5 push. So the bishop was better, for example, on a7. And I don't have much better moves but to go back and be maybe super solid and try to somehow hold out. Okay. I tried Desperado move to break open the position, of course. Now it's, let's say, reasonable move, but this is bad timing. I shouldn't do this yet. So anyway, he pushes, I have to go back, takes, and here he does. This is not a bad move, it's I just marked it with question mark because there are better moves basically, but here I want to show you a piece of calculation and the reason why he's lost. For example, in this position, I spent before calculating in these moves. It doesn't look too much. Okay, I spent a few minutes, last few moves here, trying to calculate these pushes. So I had like maybe 3 or 4 minutes of calculation on this move. And I decided that I have to move away, which is basically blunder and losing one. Because if I take, I will get basically crushed. And I'll show you what I missed, so you have the feeling about calculation depth. So if I take, he takes, I can win the pawn, but I saw this move. So now my knight is badly pinned. I'm almost losing it. Basically I'm already losing it. But I cannot defend it anymore, but at this position I spotted actually that I have this check. And I was so happy because I imagined this scenario and I like this position much better than the one before. But then also I need to notice that he can take my knight. And now we have this funny scenario. And if I take the queen, he takes the queen back. So material is equal, but I have two pieces under attack and I cannot save both. And here I'm losing. If I retreat the bishop, I lose the exchange. And if I take the bishop, he can just take. And if you count the pieces, white has extra knight. So for example, I was calculating lines like these in the several next moves, and my opponent didn't. And that's the last point I want to show you here. So why? To be clear, that's what I saw here. And now let me show you what I missed. In the same position, this is blunder, and this is the best move. So what's wrong? When he takes, I take, so pin, check, he takes. What I missed here is that I can play f6, and now he has to move the queen, so I will win my piece back. And the black is fine, and the game continues, it's about equal. Now, this is quite advanced move, maybe 100 player would see it or a bit slightly higher. But these are basically the things you need to do to win a higher quality game, especially in the endings. Basically, the closer the game to the ending games, more calculation is needed and more time is needed. And we continued the game, and I'll show you time usage in the end. Let's go to the main line. Okay. So I moved away. I spent 5 minutes calculating, do I take with knight or king? I decided that this was a better move. Check, so I went back, he checked. Here I also spent some time calculating, looking for the best defense. I avoided taking this way because exposing even this. Because once my king gets cut off, it's really hard to defend this and it's losing. And that's I used my opportunity to move the king closer to king. So I, for example, stopped these entrances. And here I played rook. And final note for this game is that if you note here, for now, I'm using all my pieces to defend. Basically, everyone is helping, including this guy. Rook is also helping, and white is still not using all of his pieces, especially this rook. And basically, this is the reason why he was probably frustrated and couldn't break. He tried this push, but basically he closed here the position. He should have been patient and develop. And now he doesn't have any more pushes. And at this point, black is already better and now having lots of counterattacks. I kept using my time. I'm at 30 minutes. There was lots of edit minutes on increment. White spent actually quite little time. He spent 10 minutes on one move much earlier. So he really used like maybe maximum minute per move. Lots of these moves. He defends his pawn. This was not great move, but okay. I have now triple attack. He doesn't have any good way to defend here. And he spends only a minute playing this move. This is a blunder. See that I checked. Now I'm here. Basically spent 15 minutes more than him. And this is already winning for black, but here he heavily blunders, and this is basically a piece lost, and he just, it's already lost, but he went into checkmate. And this was checkmate. It was a really nice game. With a few crucial moments. I hope that I managed to explain without mumbling too long about it. Thank you for watching, and I hope I see you again. Goodbye.